I want to speak briefly to a study published today by CCPA based on these leaked documents. Now, first and foremost, you might wonder what is the need or the case for such an extensive agreement as we've seen leaked today. Trade between Canada and the European Union is already very open. There are very few traditional trade barriers, some exceptions, but not very many. So these talks are not fundamentally about trade or trade expansion. They're really about the role of government and driving domestic restructuring, particularly in Canada, because we are in all ways the weaker party in this negotiation. The EU is the dominant party in this negotiation. We've assembled a group of people here that speak to the breadth of concerns about this program of domestic reform driven through the guise of a trade and investment agreement. In my study, I focus on one of the European Union's top priorities, which is government procurement. Now, what the Europeans are seeking there is not so much open access to Canadian procurement markets, particularly at the sub-federal level, but unconditional access. European companies have access to Canadian provincial and local procurement markets on the same terms as everyone else and are quite successful in those markets. But what they want to eliminate is the ability for governments to, when they make public purchases of goods and services, to negotiate benefits on behalf of their citizens. And the most visible target of this, of course, is the Ontario Green Energy Act, which is the most innovative purchasing policy in Canada in a generation. In return for premium prices, for renewable energy, which will enable Ontario to hopefully phase out its coal-fired plants. Companies, whatever their nationality, make commitments to local benefits. And there are provisions there for community control, all of which violate the text of this agreement. So again, even or especially in this area, this is not a treaty that is primarily concerned with trade. It is concerned with limiting the role of governments to regulate multinational investors and exporters. And that's true across a whole range of areas that our very distinguished group can speak to today. So it's, I think the Trade Justice Network has done a great service by finding and leaking this text at this stage in the negotiations. It's time that we have a national debate on the many fundamental changes from intellectual property to agriculture to manufacturing to public services that could be triggered by this treaty. Thank you.